Welcome to the 12-Step Recovery Evolution podcast. Visit recoveryevolution.co.uk for more episodes, helpful resources and links to our social media. Also visit the site for information on how you can attend a future Zoom session or workshop live. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm feeling a bit emotional after all of that. It's really, I can't believe what this stuff's doing to me inside and making me feel. So I just want to run something by you, Lester, really. And it's not about me, it's about my kids. I didn't give my kids any emotion at all. I know, I'm fully aware of that. I'm also aware that I'm quite resentful towards my mum because she wasn't affectionate with me, but I know that wasn't her fault because that's the way she was brought up. My dad didn't give me affection because I thought he gave it to my sister, but forget the bit about me, it's not important. My kids, the one thing I really struggle with, especially my younger one who's very angry with me, they give love to a lot of people. And I know what I did do with them when I was young is I used to take them to my nan's, I used to take them round to my friends' houses, and they gave them a lot of love. So am I getting this right in thinking that the reason why that, thank God, they can still give love is because I did at least let other people show it to them. Now I've just got to be patient and tolerant and do what you were just saying in that last bit about doing that way. I've got to do my amends, and then gradually they'll be able to show that to me. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, definitely. And again, I think that's true. If they've got someone in their life that had that emotional ability, see, because again, remember, whatever you feel is you're feeling inside yourself. So if you were loved perfectly by your parents, they had the ability to do that. But as they were loving you in the correct way, that's also developing a network in you, a neural network in you. And so eventually you learn to receive the love and then transmit it. But if them networks haven't been built, you have no way of receiving it or transmitting it. But the good news is that we are capable of that, but the environment that we've been brought up in is what develops it. So if it's not in our environment, we don't develop it. So if they've gone to their grandparents and it's in that environment, then that would develop somewhat in them. But if it's not in you, then you're not going to be able to develop it in you or other people. And that's kind of the reconstruction that it's talking about. Now, the good thing is that you've got to the first point where it's like you can see that and you admit that, that's fine. Shouldn't beat yourself up about it. It's nothing you could do about it. This is the first time you're ever hearing about it, which is why we're doing this, to try and show you that, look, you don't even know about this. How can it be your fault? But you do have to take responsibility because you do have the capacity to build that network, but you're going to have to start getting you in the right environment. Now, this is how we start building the other shoe. But that other environment may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Well, it'll probably make you feel a lot uncomfortable. So that was one of the things that I learned about when I come into recovery, and why the fellowship, if it's a healthy fellowship, becomes so powerful, because they used to say this, look, we're going to love you till you can love yourself. But then I started to learn the language of the heart. I started to learn about my emotions. But then, again, when you're surrounded by a lot more dysfunctional people, it's a little bit harder to develop your emotions, because extra fact, when you start becoming a bit more healthy, it can start making them feel a bit uncomfortable, because it's almost like this. Imagine this, that when you're a child, that naturally your emotions are like senses. And so they go out into the world. They go out. You know that you can tell what mood your mum or dad's in, or as soon as you put the key in the door. It's like your senses can feel it in the atmosphere. Somebody doesn't have to like punch you or kick you to make you feel something. You can sense it in the atmosphere. So that's what our senses are. So even as children, them senses go out to try and get their needs met, to get some love in their emotions. Now, if your family are emotionally well, then they're going to make that connection with your senses, and then you're going to develop very healthy connections with yourself, with the consciousness, with the universe, you know, with society, and you're going to become well balanced and well adjusted. But if you're maladjusted, and your family are, when your senses go out for a bit of love, and then let's just say, for example, that your mum, who's been hurt, and so now your senses are going out, and that automatically starts to draw her senses out, but her senses are hurt, and now all of a sudden she's starting to feel hurt. And because you're drawing that part of her out of her that she's actually had suppressed. And now she's got to get you to stop expecting that kind of love from her. So she may hurt you. And then that'll go back inside. And then you learn eventually, I can't use them emotions in this environment. And when everybody learns not to use them emotions in that environment, it keeps the hurt to a minimal. But we know it explodes here and there. And so that's a very simplistic way of looking at it, and it's a little bit more complicated. But again, it's just trying to give you the idea. But so it's a case of now, how do we start redeveloping them hurt emotions? Because, and this is the sad thing, that them hurt emotions, I think, are the better part of you. That we've not experienced, the world has not experienced, or your children, they haven't experienced the better part of you yet, because the better part of you has been hurt. And so it doesn't get to come out. And when it does come out, it comes out hurt, and then it hurts other people. So that's why they say in recovery, the better years of your life lay ahead of you, because we're going to start healing them hurt emotions, and you're going to start helping your children to heal their hurt emotions, at least where you're concerned. And then you're going to start having a new freedom, a new happiness. You're going to start feeling a new love, a new joy. You're going to start feeling more peace. And again, the people like Kelly and Sonia, they're the people that are a bit further down that road. Maybe they can share a little bit about the journey and how it's gone for them and how it's still going for them. Maybe Kelly or Sonia would like to give a couple of minutes on the testimony of that process.
We've got a couple of minutes. I've got 3 other people. So would Kelly or Sonia like to unmute yourselves?
Hello. So yeah, I think I've been speaking to Tracy, and I think that just thinking about, you know, them building them relationships with children and family members. It just takes, you've got the rest of your life to kind of grow and develop in them relationships and then make the changes. And I think for me in the beginning, it just took a lot of courage. I think it took me being consistent in recovery, doing my recovery, and then transmitting the love and, you know, encouraging them to be honest, and encouraging her to persevere with her life, with all the recovery principles that we talk about, that we practice in recovery, being able to transmit them to her. Like, I don't talk to her about 12 steps, and because she's totally not interested in the recovery stuff, but she is interested in being guided and being helped through her life. And I think that Jodie has made, I think my recovery has had a massive impact on Jodie. I think it's totally changed, you know, the way that she thinks and feels, and she goes off every now and then onto her own little journey where she has to have her own learning, and I still love and support her through that as well. And I know that if anything happens to her, I'm the first person that she calls, whatever dilemma it is, whether she gets sacked from her work, or boyfriend does this, or someone says that, or her dad does this. I'm always the first person that she calls. And I think I've been able to be a little angel in her life and kind of guiding her through. And it is hard, because you have to kind of go through the processes, whether they rant at you, they don't talk to you. I mean, I was honest with her boyfriend a few weeks ago, and he hasn't spoken to me since. And with her nan, she's kind of gone on the turn with me a little bit, but I feel so, it is just the way it is. And I've been honest, I've been supportive, I've done what I can, I've checked my motives, I've checked how I've said it. And I think, again, like Lester was just saying, that dysfunctional people get angry at you. When you start trying to shine the light, dysfunctional people get very angry at you. But I know in the deepness of like Jodie's nan's heart, I know that no matter what she says or does, I know that she loves me dearly, but she hasn't got the courage to accept the help for her dysfunctional stuff at the moment. And there's some stuff that's gone on, but I can honestly say that I love her with all of my heart, even though we're not talking. So it is a long journey. It takes years and years, and you unveil things, and then it gets covered over again, and you overcome that, you overcome this. It's just it's a long journey, beautiful process, and it's the root, and it's the most important thing about recovery, I think. Having these relationships, deep relationships with your family members. I think it's been the most important thing for my heart, to give me peace in my heart, and continue, again, like for Bryony and for Tracy, it's for talking to people that have experienced and overcome the issues that you're facing. So, that's it for me.
It's just a process, and it's I think firstly it's being kind of armed with the facts about the damage that was caused in the madness, really, and for me it's about kind of I just want to be solid in what I do in my program, and show them a better way to live, and show them that no matter what, that they, and sometimes it's hard, but showing them that no matter what they're going through, that I'm going to be there, no matter, if that makes sense. And what I've also learned along the way is the more I'm learning to love myself, the more I can love them. And also listening to what Bryony was saying is, I've got the same with my middle child, and she's really damaged, bless her little heart. And I find it really hard. And I worry that I'm like, oh my God, she's going to be like me. She is like me, but it doesn't mean it's going to be the same in the future. But even if it was, I'm going to stand firm in being her mum. And I remember Lester had said to me once, is like, remembering this, and I love it, is what did I need at that age? What did I need? And that's what I'm trying to learn to give her, and to give them all, and learn to give them the bits that I felt was missing for me growing up. And it's just like Sonia said, it's just a process, and it is a wonderful, difficult at times. Guilty mum stuff sometimes comes in, but I'm learning, the more I grow in myself, the more I love myself, I'm better at standing firm in that. But it is a process, and it takes time. But yeah, it's living these principles is massive in that process.